So there's more reporting on the developing story out of the New York District Attorney's Office after the two top prosecutors in the Trump Organization criminal case abruptly resigned. We now have the DA announcing that there is a new top prosecutor on that case, and her name is Susan Hoffinger. So in fairness, let's look at the background, the experience, the qualifications of Miss Hoffinger to head up this most consequential prosecutorial team. Because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So let's do a quick Justice Matters update of a story we've been talking about in recent days. That is the abrupt resignation of the two top prosecutors from the New York District Attorney's Office who had been handling the criminal investigation and prosecution of the Trump Organization and of Donald Trump. Now those two prosecutors, Pomerantz and Dunn, and as an aside, doesn't Pomerantz and Dunn sound like a 70s one-hit wonder band? Okay, sometimes we have to try to laugh a little. Those two top prosecutors, Pomerantz and Dunn, resigned their positions at the New York District Attorney's Office, and the suggestion or the reporting is that they did so because District Attorney Alvin Bragg wasn't committed enough to indicting Donald Trump for his crimes. So now the District Attorney's Office has fired back and has issued a number of statements about the Trump investigation. Here's the reporting from the Washington Post. Bragg taps new attorney to head Trump investigation after two lead prosecutors quit. And that article begins, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has asked his investigations chief to oversee the ongoing probe into former President Donald Trump and his business practices, a day after the abrupt resignations of two veteran attorneys who had been leading the case. Susan Hoffinger, also an experienced litigator and recent addition to Bragg's executive team, will captain what has been described as a squad of about 25 lawyers, paralegals, and analysts. Bragg's office has said the case, which he inherited from his predecessor, Cy Vance, is proceeding. On Thursday, his spokesman said it was, quote, not true that Bragg was unconcerned with advancing the matter. Quote, as we said yesterday, the investigation remains ongoing, said Bragg spokeswoman Danielle Filson, adding that Hoffinger, quote, will lead the strong team that is in place, close quote. Okay, so the criminal case against the Trump Organization, Alan Weisselberg and Donald Trump, will no longer be headed up by two longtime prosecutors, Pomerantz and Dunn. It will now be headed up by somebody named Susan Hoffinger. So let's trust but verify. Or frankly, how about we verify and then we see if we have trust in this new assignment of Ms. Hoffinger as the top prosecutor against the Trump Organization and Donald Trump. So what do we know about Ms. Hoffinger's experience? Well, I think a fair place to look is her own LinkedIn page. And we see that she joined the New York District Attorney's Office just this month after 22 years in private practice at the Hoffinger firm. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that may very well be her firm. And she also is, or was until recently, a member of something called the Women's White Collar Defense Association. That's not a criticism or a slight that she was part of a white collar defense association, but we have to recognize that white collar defense is kind of the opposite of white-collar prosecution. To find any prosecution experience, we have to go back to 1992, where for 8 years, from 92 to 2000, she was an assistant district attorney in the New York DA's office in assignments such as the Forfeiture Unit, the Trial Bureau, and the Frauds Bureau. Now, friends, I am not looking to sell Ms. Hoffinger short in any way. It may be that her decades in private practice defending people who are accused of or charged with white-collar crimes has positioned her perfectly to be the head of a 25-person prosecutorial team going after a former president of the United States and his corrupt business, which stands indicted, together with his chief financial officer. Maybe her experience makes her the right person at the right moment to head up this most consequential case. But I do think it's fair for the people of New York, and by extension of the country, to ask questions like, what has she done in recent decades to advance the cause of justice, to serve the public in the decades she's been in private practice in a white-collar defense world? I think those are fair questions, because she is now heading up a case that is of deep interest to all of us who care about justice being equally dispensed. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.